Hello everyone, and welcome back to Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. It's time for the royal news. So let's see what's been going on around the week of June 14th, 2025. The first story comes from people.com and is dated June 14th, 2025. King Charles leads the royal family at Trooping the Colors amid his ongoing cancer treatment. And this is by Greta Bjornsson. King Charles and Queen Camilla made their grand entrance at Trooping the Color. The King 76 and Camilla 77 arrived at the annual event on Saturday, June 14th, where they were joined by members of the British royal family. The historic event celebrates the King's birthday, which falls on November 14th. He celebrated his first Trooping the Color as monarch in 2023 when he rode on horseback during the parade and was joined on horseback by Prince William, Prince Edward, and Princess Anne. Last year, the King arrived in horse-drawn carriage alongside Queen Camilla, marking a change in his routine after riding on horseback at the event for many years. The King rode in a carriage that year amid his treatment for cancer, which he was diagnosed with on February 2024. For his third Trooping the Color as monarch, the King once again rode in a carriage. Similarly, Queen Elizabeth switched from taking part in the event on horseback to riding a coach in 1987 when she was 60. His arrival at this year's celebration comes after a senior royal aide told People that the King was doing well as he continues to receive cancer treatment. "The thing you learn about this illness is that you just manage it, and that's what he does," the aide said in late May. "Medical science has made incredible advances, and I genuinely see no difference in him," they added. "As long as you just do what the doctors say, just live your life as normal as possible, that's exactly what he is doing." The King was hospitalized on March 27 at the London clinic following scheduled and ongoing medical treatment for cancer. Buckingham Palace said in a statement at the time, the King experienced temporary side effects that required a short period of observation in hospital. While aides did not share additional details at the time, a royal source said the King's recovery is very much heading in the right direction. The second story comes from WWD, dated June 14th, 2025. Kate Middleton steps out and Catherine Walker for Trooping the Color. This is by Hikmad Mohammed. Catherine Walker is one of Middleton's go-to designers when it comes to serious public outings with the rest of the family. It's a label that was favored by her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana. In the last year, the princess has been making a slow return to life in the public eye. Trooping the Color is a key affair for the royal family and is often a celebratory one. The event, which often takes place in June, is a parade that commemorates and celebrates the birthday of the monarch. The Princess of Wales often supports homegrown designers at Trooping the Color, such as Stella McCartney, Erdem, and Alexander McQueen. But in 2023, she made a surprising choice by wearing an Andrew Ginn design. She wore an emerald green coat dress with satin trim to represent her role as Colonel of the Irish Guards, with a matching hat by Philip Treacy. The dress featured blue jeweled embellishments that matched her sapphire engagement ring and earrings, which belonged to Princess Diana. The third story comes from CBS.com, dated June 14th, 2025. British royal family commemorate victims of Air India plane crash at the Trooping the Color. King Charles III and other members of the royal family in uniform wore black armbands and observed a moment of silence during his annual birthday parade on Saturday to commemorate those who died in this week's Air India plane crash. The King requested the symbolic moves as a mark of respect for the lives lost, the families in mourning, and all the communities affected by this awful tragedy, Buckingham Palace said. An Air India flight from the northwestern city of Ahmedabad to London crashed shortly after takeoff on Thursday, killing 241 people on board and at least 29 on the ground. The plane was carrying 169 Indians, 53 Britons, 7 Portuguese, and 1 Canadian. 1 man survived. The last story comes from the Mirror, dated June the 12th, 2025. Prince William scolded at the Trooping of the Color by unimpressed queens telling off. This story is by Charlotte Foster. Trooping the Color is just around the corner, with Buckingham Palace and the royal family preparing to celebrate the King's official birthday. During the event, which is a landmark event in the royal calendar, the family joined together on the famous Buckingham Palace balcony to marvel in the Royal Air Force flypast. While this part of the day's celebration is often most memorable, it is not always smooth sailing for the royals. Several years back, in 2016, one member of the royal family was scolded by the late Queen for an unexpected reason. Prince William seemed to irk his late grandmother, who was standing on the balcony during the flypast, earning him a stern word from the monarch. As Princess Charlotte, who was making her Trooping the Color debut just after her first birthday, was being helped by Kate, young Prince George was being looked after by William. Standing at the front of the balcony, George, who was just 3 years old at the time, peered over the ledge to wave at the thousands of people gathered around the palace. As William crouched down to speak to his young son and explain the flypast, he was temporarily out of sight from the huge crowd of onlookers. The Queen was clearly unimpressed that the crowds would not have been able to see him. Her Majesty appeared to berate her grandson by saying, "Stand up, William. Don't crouch." Of course, the prince did as he was told and rose immediately, looking rather sheepish. The telling off during the flypast was not the first occasion the monarch had put her foot down with her grandson, as William explained in the Sky News documentary to mark the Queen's 90th birthday in 2016. At the time, the Prince of Wales spoke candidly about an incident in his childhood that landed him in hot water with his grandmother, as he and his cousin, Peter Phillips, were caught misbehaving while riding a quad bike at Balmoral. He said, "We were chasing Zara around, who was on a go-kart, and Peter and I managed to herd Zara into a lamppost, and the lamppost came down and nearly squashed her. I remember my grandmother being the first person out at Balmoral, running across the lawn in her kilt. She came charging over and gave us the most almighty you know the word," and that sort of stuck in my mind from that moment on. As heir to the throne, William made his Trooping the Color balcony debut before his first birthday in 1984. In 2011, newly married William took part in his first Trooping the Color parade and rode on horseback, which he's expected to do again this year. So I will end the video here. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so, it would help the channel to grow, as well as giving it a thumbs up. It's all a great help. And if you haven't clicked on the notification bell, if you could do that, it lets you know when a video is posted. I want to wish everybody a good day, and tune in again soon for another episode of Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life, the Royal News. Thank you. Bye.